guys, welcome back or welcome to the channel. If you're new, it's Sahara. So today is kind of like part 2 to my turning Dollar Tree dollhouses into some sort of Christmas house. If you see my previous one, which I will pop up on the screen right now, I did a gingerbread dollhouse. So today I'm going to be doing 2 dollhouses, mainly for like a Hansel and Gretel type of vibe, but it's going to be for a Christmas village. So as always with these Dollar Tree dollhouses, you want to start off with some sandpaper, and I'm just using this one that I got from Walmart. I'm also going to be using some paint. Now this spray paint, you can see it's from Color Place. Leave Color Place in its place because this is some terrible spray paint. I'll get into that whole ordeal that I went through with this paint later, but for now, as always, we're going to just sandpaper the houses, and also don't forget to sandpaper the doors and the windows. Of course, like I said before, this is just going to help scrape off that extra layer if you are not using paint plus primer. Now, I do have the Krylon paint plus primer, and it's really good. I had it in black. I used it for my dollhouse that I did for the Halloween dollhouse, and it works really good. I did not feel like going out and buying it again in white, so I just used this spray paint that I had on hand. I'm just showing some of the things that I'm going to be using to decorate both of the houses, and everything that I'm using to decorate is going to be from Hobby Lobby. I will have everything that I use in this video linked down below. I think everything that I'm using is also from Hobby Lobby except for the dollhouses and the paint. So everything else would have been 50% off that I bought. And if it looks like anything is missing, don't forget I did do the gingerbread house. So most things did go on the gingerbread house first. For the windows on both houses, I'm going to be painting all windows one color, and it's going to be the Apple Barrel matte paint in the shade Kelly Green. I just thought to stick with one color because sometimes I just feel like when you do too many different colors, it could just, I don't know, sometimes it just doesn't look right. So just one color depends on what type of look you're going for. And I'm also taking inspiration from those Nutcrackers that you see over to the left of the screen from the My Little Christmas. It has that same color, that same like deep Kelly green color. Going in with the Apple Barrel paints in the shade Chocolate Bar, Flamenco Red, well this is Red Apple, then Flamenco Red because the Flamenco is a deeper color from the Red Apple. I'm going to start with the border of the door, and using that Chocolate Bar, I'm going to paint this for the first layer. And then the next one is going to be the door, and it's going to be painted with that deeper red. Then I'm going to go back to the border and paint that Flamenco Red shade over that. I just want it to be like a deep brown as the base, and then this deep red on top of it. For the houses now, I can go to that. I'm going to go over it with the Apple Barrel paint in Snow White. Now, let me tell you something about that color, please. Like I said, keep it in its place because it is terrible. It is very thin and very liquidy. I went to Walmart and I asked the guy, I was like, so what's the difference between like cheap paints and expensive paints? He was like, well, cheaper paints, they tend to run more and you would need more layers. And I needed a lot of layers, especially when using white paint. White paint and neon paints are like the worst. So now you can see that I just popped all the windows and doors back in. What I'm doing for this house is I'm going to go in with those red paints and just paint in the detail. Now again, like I said, for the gingerbread house, I'm pretty much doing the same steps, just painting the detail that came with the house. I'm not painting anything extra for now. I will paint a little bit extra later, but this is just what's already on the house. And also for this house, I am going in with those little things like in my Halloween dollhouse look like coffins, the gingerbread house look like gingerbread men. Now this time it doesn't really look like much of anything, but except for just some red decor, I don't know. And then for the next house, doing the same thing, just painting the detail on the house, and everything is getting painted red. For Hansel's house, I'm going to be taking a combination of the shades Chestnut and Territorial Beige, and yes, I am mixing them in the paint top because I forgot to get another one of those paint palettes, so I could only mix it in this or get a cup, and I look at the cup all the way up on the top. I could have got that cup, but anyway, I'm just going to mix it in, and this is going to be like a brick color, but I'm going to be kind of mimicking graham crackers in a way because of course with Hansel and Gretel they were all about the food, so that's kind of what I'm going for, like the brick on the house, but in that more brownish type of graham cracker color. You understand? You get it? For the border around this border does not get removed. Well, it can't remove, so you just have to paint it as is. So I'm just starting off with the red colors, and then I'm going over it with brown. For Gretel's house, I'm going to take the nutcrackers and hot glue them to each side. Now, they did come with this red and white white type of twine that I'm just removing as the string. You can see that I'm holding it right now in my hand. Also, for Hansel and Gretel's house, I added that peppermint bracelet piece to the front of the door as like the I don't know, there's those wreaths to the front of the door, so I added them there. And then on Hansel's house, I also added the red and white stripes, but you'll be able to see it closer around the border of the doors. For the deer, I'm just taking them out for now, and I'm just trying to figure out how I want them to set up on the house, but I'm going to go back to that later because I could not decide how I wanted it to look. For the straw, I'm doing the same thing that I did in a gingerbread house, fitting it up to the house where those corners are at, cutting it, and then just gluing it on. Off camera, I was trying to figure out what to do for Hansel's house on the right. So what I did for both houses was I took the candy canes, crossed them in an X shape, and put them on the windows at the top. Then on Gretel's house to the left, I took the peppermint bracelet, just put 2 peppermints on each corner on the roof. Back to Hansel's house, he got all of the straws. He got 1 nutcracker. On the border of the door, I did do those red and white stripes. On the roof part where it sticks out at, I stuck a swirl up there, and I think that's pretty much all I did. I'm going to be using the red apple, which is the right paint, and it is lighter. I'm going to be painting the deer half red, and then the other half is just the glitter that it came with, and this is why I decided to go with this color glitter, just in case I wanted to do some type of DIY. I'm also going to use that red glitter from the Dollar Tree and pour a little bit of it only on the antlers. Because it's a deeper red glitter, it's going to look good on the antlers, just for that deeper contrast. So that's how it looks, and I'm gonna end up gluing that onto Gretel's house, just 1 deer. For Hansel's house, we're going to use 2 deer, and again, half red, half that other color that it came with, but make sure it's on opposite sides. And then also one of the buttons that I still have, which is the cupcake button, is going to be glued in the middle of those 2 deer. So this is how both of the homes came out so far, just separated from the thing that they are going to be sitting on that I will DIY next. Now you can see up close on the house where I did the red and white stripes for the border. I also DIY'd one of those Dollar Tree nutcrackers. I will insert that as well. I completely painted over what it was previously, and I'll put the before and after on the screen. I painted mine red and white with some crystals, the gift box, and then some glitter, and you can see the before was the gold, blue, and the red. Whenever creating something like this, you just need a small detail brush, which I was lacking, which is why the lines are uneven. I bought some more of these figurines from the Dollar Tree. One is a Barbie one and one is a Frozen one, and I'm going to be using that to help me with some of the DIYs today. And I also got one of those boards as well, well, the wood boards. I got 3 of them, and I'm going to be using 2 of them for these 2 doll houses. I don't know why I'm peeling off the back of the tape because it's unnecessary, but I'm just doing that. I'm going to paint them snow white because I want the base of the house to be white. Both Hansel and Gretel are getting these little cars. I'm going to keep Gretel's car this red color, but I'm going to paint Hansel's car this white color because Hansel has on a white jacket, so I just feel like changing up the color of the vehicle will be better. I'm going to start off by painting the whole thing white, and then I'll go back in and add the detail later. For both of the houses, I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue them down. I'm not going to use any sandpaper. I've been using sandpaper as like the kind of like the base of the house, maybe even a walkway, but this time I'm just going to glue it right down to the wood. This is the leftover stone slash pebbles that I had from my Halloween video when I did the witch's walkway. Well, using the stone slash pebble as a walkway for both Hansel and Gretel's house. Now, I do want to say this, that these pebble slash stones from the Dollar Tree, really good, excellent quality. They look just like regular rocks. They give you different sizes, colors, shapes. The only downside is when creating a walkway, you want a more pebble shape, which pebbles usually more like the flat, roundish shape. These contain pebbles and rocks, but mostly rocks, which can be uneven. So I'll just say this, just watch your step. Right now, I just went ahead and just set up the pebbles how I want it to look. You never just want to go right in and just start gluing, so I'm just going to put it to the side. I do have this reindeer moss. I want it to look like bushes, maybe grass around the house, so that's what I'm going to use to hot glue just right close to the front of the house. I'm not going to go on the sides. For the rest of the wood, I'm going, well, for the rest of most of the part of the wood, not the whole thing, but I'm going to be taking some Mod Podge, applying some on there, and then taking some of this miniature snow from the Mayberry collection at Hobby Lobby, and just tapping that on there. I'm also going to tap a little bit of the Mod Podge on top of the reindeer moss as well, and put some snow up there. Now, this snow does look really good, especially on the moss. It made it look like ice was on the moss, so it's really good snow. There's no glitter to it, so you can add your own glitter, which is what I might do because I have like a white glitter. I didn't like the type of glitter that most of the snow at the store had, the fake snow. Most of it had like that holographic looking glitter, and I don't think that looks good at all. You want like a white glitter that still has a shine but just blends in. I'm going to start just hot gluing all of the pieces that I have that I want to go on each house. And again, starting with Gretel's house, and then we're going to go ahead and do Hansel's house. At this part, I was just kind of figuring out how I wanted everything to be set up. So I just took the pebbles and put them on top of this little bar that I have. So what I did was those air fresheners, just those car fresheners that you can get, I cut it in half, painted one white, and glued it to Gretel's house just to see how it would look as that extra step. I did it in a Halloween video. I also added a red deer to the front of her house, and then one of those cookies that I got from Hobby Lobby as well in that set. So I just wanted to add some of that to the front of the house. I didn't have many decor pieces. As I'm working on this, it's September right now, so there's not a whole lot of Christmas stuff out, so I'm just using what Christmas decor that I currently have. And I think later, if I see anything else, I might change that deer because I don't know if I like how the deer looks. For his house, I just went ahead and glued the stocking, another cookie. So for Gretel's house, the cookie's red. For Hansel's house, the cookie is going to be that green. And then I also glued Olaf to his house as well for a little snowman. Olaf is just so cute. He's just so adorable. I died. For the white truck, I'm just going to go ahead and start back adding in that detail. So I'm going to be using the Apple Barrel matte paint in a shade black for the tires. And then I'm going to be using the Apple Barrel matte paint in a shade country gray to add in the silver gray tone. So a dot of the gray is going to go on the tires, and then also the windows on each sides are going to be that gray tone as well. And that's all I'm going to be doing for the truck. The headlights are silver as well. I should have made the headlights yellow because I do have a yellow paint, but that's fine. And this is how the truck turned out with its full repaint job. Both of the houses are going to have their own trees, so each of the trees are going to have stars on the top of them, and these stars came from the Dollar Tree, had some full lights, and I decided to paint them orange. Now I'm going to go ahead and paint them yellow because I did use them for my fall video. I forgot which fall video it was, but what I did was I took some fake leaves and stapled them on each side to make a leaf garland for the fall. So now I just went ahead, tore it up and just use this as the stars. And the Apple Barrel gloss paint in the shade yellow is what I'm going to be using to paint them. And then I'm going to be sprinkling some gold glitter that I got from the Dollar Tree on top of them to just make them shine. I almost forgot to mention, but I am hot gluing the stars onto the top of the tree so that they stay, even though there's a hole in them so they can stick in the hole. I went out to Hobby Lobby to get that tulip puffy paint. And what you're supposed to do with this is just shake it up, squeeze it onto whatever project you're working on, typically like in a snow type of form, and just add some sort of steam to it, some sort of heat. So a steamer, the steam from your iron or a blow dryer. Now I've tried this out already from the previous video that I did for that dollhouse, the gingerbread house, but I tried it out on these houses first and it does not get puffy. I had to do 2 layers to get it to look even remotely puffy. So maybe between last year and this year or something like that, maybe the brand decided to change the formula, because you know some of these brands out here, they feel the need to change the formula and it makes it worse. So I think that that's what they did, and it took out a lot of the puff, because no matter what I did, it just would not get puffy. But like I said, I did go in with more than 1 layer, and I definitely think that that helped to just bring some sort of puffiness to it. Also, the heat was messing with my hot glue on the house. Some of the glue was trying to shrivel up, especially on a candy cane, so you have to be careful with that. And then the last thing I'm gonna, you can see my fingers tapping, the last thing I'm gonna do is just add some white glitter on top of them, and that will be that, because there was nothing that was really happening with this. Last year from the Dollar Tree, they had these pack of presents. This is what I used on top of that Nutcracker that I showed before, the silver gift. So they also sell LED lights, and I like these LED lights because they're very thin and small, and they're very useful to be able to get into miniature villages and wrap around trees, wrap inside the Dollar Tree doll houses as well. So this is what I was going to be using inside the Dollar Tree doll houses, but instead I'm gonna put it around the tree, wrap it around the tree, and then put the presents underneath the tree as well, and you'll be able to see how nice it looks when it lights up. For the last part of this video, I'm going to be adding these candy canes. I already did the left house off camera because the rocks were very uneven, so I had to get close up on it. So I'm just going to hot glue it to the other house, and that will complete both houses. And I'm just going to hot glue them down because that's the only way that I can get them to stick, because something like this, you have to do it first and then put down the snow, because the snow is just getting in the way of everything. But just hot glue it down, hold it down, and you'll be good to go. Let me know whose house you like better. Do you like Hansel's house on the left, or do you like Gretel's house on the right? And then this is how it's going to look with the lights off. Obviously, this is going to be under the Christmas tree, so you'll see it then as well in a different video. For the next part, I decided to put in this quick DIY. I mean, it's going to be really quick because I'm just going to be doing most of it off camera since the camera was out of the screen. But anyway, this deer is something that I got from Walmart. It's just an ornament. The carriage is also an ornament from Walmart. I mean, these are some pretty big ornaments from Walmart, but still, like I said before, I think it was in this video or in the other video, that you can always use ornaments as decor pieces. You don't have to hang them up on a tree because they turn most trees over anyway. But I'm going to be ripping the doll from this plastic stand that it's on. The plastic stand just says Barbie. This was that Barbie that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be DIYing it. I have some, I still have all of my Barbie dolls that I used to have when I was younger, and they have clothes and accessories. So I'm going to be taking the clothes that I have for it, cutting them up and hot gluing them to her, painting what needs to be painted and glittering what needs to be glittered. I took the bodysuit and just cut it up, wrapped it around her as a dress, like a dress with a slit. And then I'm also taking this part that was on the bodysuit. I don't know, I'm making it into a sash. I think that's what it's called. But I'm Mod Podging that part to it. And then I'm going to take this part right here that was on a Barbie doll. I think it was on a circus doll. And I'm just cutting off the top part of it. And I'm going to put it around her as like a, I don't know, she's just going to look high fashion, very high fashion, and I'm just going to hot glue that around her. For the finishing touches, I just added black glitter to that shawl. I think that's what it's called, a shawl. I don't wear stuff like this, so I wouldn't know. I can't remember. But I added the black glitter because it was like a velvet type of feel, and it was supposed to be like a fur, but I don't have that type of fur, so I just added it as like a glitter shawl. And then I also added glitter to the bottom half of the dress. The glitter is like a bronzy glitter with red specks in it. And then I put this silver circle thing right in the middle of it. So that's all I did. Now I'm going to glue her to the carriage, and that will be it. I'm just trying to get as close as possible and put my light from my phone onto her so you can see the glitter, because my camera and the lighting that I'm currently using is not doing it any justice. So you gotta get just in a little bit closer because the glitter is just so pretty on it. I really like how it came out, and I try to get it to match as close as possible to that deer that I bought, and also the nutcracker behind it that I fully did a new repaint job on and added glitter. It's really fun adding glitter and doing the paint jobs, but like I said, just make sure you have the right brushes, because not having one of those thin liner brushes really makes things harder. But yeah, it was pretty easy just to cut the dress and just figure it out, so you can see up closer how it looks like it's like a slit dress, longer on one side and shorter on the other.